So it's been a quite a long time that Apple has launched their M1 powered MacBooks, and before the launch I have talked about it extensively. But today in this video let's talk about how M1 is so damn good after seeing all the performance and all the reviews. Now, as per Apple, their M1 powered MacBook, or specifically their M1 chip, is one of the most efficient and powerful mobile chip that right now currently in the market. And to be honest, they are not far from their claim. It really is a very impressive chip. But how? It's an 8-core chip with 4 high performance and 4 efficient cores. It has a inbuilt IO controller and a onboard memory. And if this kind of chip configuration sounds familiar to you, then it is, because we have been seeing these kind of chip configuration in our smartphones for a long time. And Apple's M1 chip is based on their own mobile chip, or which the chip that they used in their iPhones, which is a A14. And that's where the question begins: how this SoC can be better than most of the other CPUs right now in the market? Well, one of the reason is the amount of transistor that they use to build this chip, and to be precise, it is 4 billion times more than their A14. But that's not the only reason. One of the biggest change it has than a mundane or a traditional desktop or mobile CPU, that it is designed differently. It is not a x86 architecture based CPU, it's a ARM architecture based CPU. Now, what is x86 and what is ARM, and why can't Apple use ARM, or why they are not using it, and what are the fundamental difference like RISC and CISC? If I start to explain this video is going to be half an hour long, which I am not trying to do. So let's just keep it aside and let's just say there is a architectural difference and also a licensing difference. And because of this fundamental architectural difference, it has some few secret spices up on its sleeve. One of them is the size of its decoder and encoder. It is much more wider than a traditional CPU, and that is one of the reasons it can not only accept more data, but it also can execute and process more data. And now you may ask, why cannot x86 based CPUs have much more wider decoder and encoder? Well, the reason there is an inherent architectural limitation of x86, and that is the reason why traditional CPUs don't have a wider decoder and encoder than what they have right now. Not only that, Apple's M1 chip can go much more deeper when it comes to out of the order execution. Now, what is out of the order execution? Well, again, it's a complicated topic. But to put it simply, Apple's M1 chip can predict what instruction a specific program might need to do a certain process way ahead than a x86 based CPU. And it also have much more L1 cache, which is the fastest memory in a computer system. And to add a cherry on top, this chip is based on a chip which was originally meant for an iPhone. And that's the reason for its amazing efficiency. So what that means, that Apple is gonna dominate the CPU space and AMD and Intel are doomed right now? Well, no. As I said, this is a ARM based chip, and Apple can switch from one architecture to another because they have that much control, but AMD and Intel doesn't have, because people who don't use Mac OS, most of them use either Windows or Linux, and those two operating systems are not quite ARM friendly, just to put it like that. And 99% softwares are written in x86 architecture, or written for x86 architecture based system. And so what that means, that the M1 chip only sounds good on paper? Well, no, it also performs as good as it sounds on its first party softwares, or I might say those softwares which are or were or translated from x86 to ARM. And that also doesn't mean that it cannot run x86 based, or the softwares that are written for x86. I know it's getting confusing. I am getting confused with you as well. Yes, it can run x86 softwares, or the softwares that were written for x86 through emulation, or emulation program, which is Rosetta 2, which is again Apple's proprietary emulation software or program. But because it's a emulated way, it comes with its issue. One of them is stability. But again, we are talking about Apple here. They have a significant user base, and I'm sure not a single developer wants to lose that user base. And on top of that, as I said, we are talking about Apple. They have a brand power. Okay, they are not a small tech company, they are giant. Okay, so yes, they will use their brand power, and definitely all the developers will slowly but surely start to rewrite their software for a ARM based system, and it's already started happening. A lot of major developers already finished or already are polishing their softwares for a ARM based Mac, and that finally fills the one piece that was missing from Apple's puzzle. Their iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches, or 90% product they sell, they have full control over it, from the software to the hardware. The only product line that they didn't have full control was their computer lineup, their MacBooks, iMacs, Mac Pros, and right now they have the full control. So right now Apple can have their cake and eat it too. Now I know most of you already know all the things that I have said in this video, but it was a script that I have written a long time ago, but because of some stuff I haven't got the time to make it. But right now I have the time to make it, so I made it. So let me know in the comment section, do you guys love the change? If you have a Mac, are you, or a M1 Mac, are you loving the change or not? And are you gonna buy a ARM based or M1 based Mac? Let me know in the comment section. And if you like the video, hit the like button. If you don't, leave it a dislike. Feel free to do it, but remember, you will hurt me pretty bad. So think about it twice. And if you want to watch more videos from us, check out this video right here. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, amazing channel which I have here, well, we can do it right here, and I will definitely appreciate that if you do that. I mean, subscribe. And there's Akash, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.